Good morning, kids!
Good morning, ma'am!
Okay, may I request everybody to please stand and let us pray. Ate Joyly, can you lead us our prayer? Are you ready to pray, classmates?
Yes, we are. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, holy be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Do not bring us to the test, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good morning again, kids!
Good morning, ma'am.
Alright, so before you take your seat, let's sing first a song if you're happy and you know it. Are you all excited?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. If you're
Happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know you do them all. Hooray! If you're happy and you know you do them all. Hooray! If you're happy and you know and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know you do them all. Hooray!
Okay, excellent, kids. Now, would you mind to arrange your chairs properly and quietly? Okay, are you done, kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may now take your seat.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ate Daphne, who is the absent today?
None, ma'am.
Alright, thank you, Ate. So, I am so glad that you are all in today. Give yourself a round of applause. So, before we proceed to our next lesson, let's recall first our last topic. So, what is all about again, kids?
Ma'am.
Yes, Ate Marjorie.
Element of the story, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So, last meeting, we discussed the element of the story. So, what are the different elements of the story again, kids?
Ma'am.
Yes, Ate Krisma.
Character, settings, conflict, plot, and theme, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So last meeting, we discussed and read the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. So I have here 6 pictures that is related to Jack and the Beanstalk. So all you need to do is to arrange this picture in its proper order. So now, who wants to arrange the picture in its proper order?
Ma'am.
Can you try it, Kuya Jolly Bird? Okay, thank you, Kuya Jollibird. So, class, do you think that Kuya Jollibird arranged this picture in its proper order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Give Kuya Jollibird a round of applause. So now, class, do you have any questions regarding to the element of the story?
None, ma'am.
Okay, I am so glad that you are all understand the topic last meeting. Give yourself a round of applause. Now, class, do you have a favorite fairy tale stories?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is your favorite fairy tale story?
Ma'am.
Yes, Ate Daphne.
Cinderella, ma'am.
Okay, very good. How about you, Kuya Jolly Bird?
Beauty and the Beast, ma'am.
Okay, so I have also my favorite favorite fairy tale stories. It is entitled Hansel and Gretel. Do you want to hear a story about them?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so as I read the story, I want you to listen and be quiet. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. Once upon a time, there was a brother and sister named Hansel and Gretel. They lived with their father and stepmother in a tiny cottage at the edge of the forest. Hansel and Gretel's father was a woodcutter. He used to chop trees in the forest, but he didn't earn very much money in his work. In that case, the family had very little food to eat. Hansel and Gretel's stepmother did not like the children. She thought that they ate too much and that caring for them is too much work. One night, she complained to Hansel and Gretel's father. She said that, "I'm fed up with your children. You need to leave them in the woods." But the father didn't agree in that bad idea. The father answered, "I can't do that. They are my children." The stepmother was very angry and still insists her bad idea. "Of course you can. I'll show you how. Tomorrow, we'll take them into the forest and leave them there," the stepmother said. Hansel was still awake and heard everything about their stepmother said. Later that night, Hansel snuck out of their house and picked some shiny white pebbles that were sparkling in the dark. In the next day, Hansel and Gretel's stepmother called out to them, "Your father and I are going to the forest. You children are coming with us," the stepmother said. As they walked into the forest, Hansel secretly dropped the pebbles he had to mark their path. When they arrived deep in the heart of the forest, the children's father and stepmother split off to chop some wood. The kids spent the whole day alone in the forest. As night approached, the father and stepmother had not returned. "Hansel, I'm started to get really scared. When are mother and father going to come back to take us home?" Gretel said. "I don't think they will come back, Gretel, but you don't have to worry. I'll get us home," Hansel said. The pebbles Hansel had dropped on the ground were sparkling in the dark, and the kids were able to follow them all the way back to their home. When they reached their home, their father was delighted to see them. "My son and my daughter, thank goodness you are safe. I'm sorry, I'll never leave you alone," father said. A few days later, their father went to the town to repair his axe, and Hansel and Gretel were left alone in the house with their stepmother. The evil stepmother ordered the children to go out of their house. "Come on, we are going to have picnic in the forest," the stepmother said. But Hansel didn't trust his stepmother. He secretly snatched a loaf of bread and hid it away. As they walked into the forest, Hansel dropped breadcrumbs on the ground behind him. Once they were deep inside the forest, their stepmother looked at them harshly and said, "You two, wait here. I'll come back in a little while." The children waited, but the stepmother didn't come back. After a while, it getting dark, and Gretel again started to feel very afraid. "Hansel, let's go home. I'm scared." But Hansel insists to stay at the forest until morning because they can able to see the breadcrumbs which serve as their guide to their way at home. When the sun rose, Hansel and Gretel went looking for the breadcrumbs, but they couldn't find them anywhere. It is because bird and the mice have eaten the breadcrumbs. Hansel and Gretel walked and walked through the forest, hoping to find someone who could help them. After some time, Hansel and Gretel came across a marvelous house. It is made of gingerbread and decorated with chocolate, gumdrops, and a bunch of other sweets. The two children were very hungry that they broke off a big piece of the house and started eating them. After a while, an old woman came out of the house. She smiled when she saw Hansel and Gretel. She offers the two children to go inside their house. With that, Hansel and Gretel went inside the old woman's house, where she fed them very nicely. The old woman said that, "Drink as much as you like, children. Don't be shy. There's a plenty." Then she laughed very loud. When Hansel and Gretel finished their food, they told the old woman that they wanted to go home. But the old woman had trapped them. It was the time that the children realized that the old woman was a child-eating witch who built a house to trap children. The old woman witch locked Hansel up in the cage and commanded Gretel to work for her. She made Gretel cook, clean, wash, and scrub. In the morning, the old woman witch would check to see if Hansel was plump enough to eat. She wanted to check the finger of Hansel, but Hansel tricked her by holding out of a chicken bone. In that way, the old woman witch thinks that Hansel is still skinny. One morning, the old woman witch was feeling hungry. Angrily, she called out to Gretel, "Gretel, today I'm going to eat Hansel for breakfast. Fill up the big pot with boiling water. I will make a nice Hansel soup." Poor Gretel. She didn't know what to do. She knew she had to save Hansel and so thought of a plan as she was putting the pot of water to boil. After some time, the old witch came to see if the water in the pot was boiling. The witch was so eager to eat Hansel that she climbed up on the stove and peeped inside the pot. In that way, Gretel pushed the old woman witch into the pot with all her might. The old woman witch fell into the boiling water and Gretel closed the lid. She then unlocked the cage and let Hansel out. After a while, Hansel and Gretel found a pot full of gold coins in the witch's house. They get it and started to walk to go home. After walking for a very long time, Hansel and Gretel finally found their way out of the forest. When they reached their home, their father was waiting for them. The father tells that he kicked out their stepmother to their house and assures to them that the stepmother will never bother them again. From that day, the three of them were never short of money again, and they all lived happily ever after. Okay, so we're done. Do you understand the story of Hansel and Gretel, class?
Yes, ma'am!
Alright, from the story that we have read, who are the characters that being presented in this story?
Ma'am!
Yes, Ate Grisma.
Hansel and Gretel, ma'am!
Okay, very good. Hansel and Gretel is the main character. Who else?
Ma'am!
Yes, Kuya Jolliver.
The old woman, ma'am.
Very good. Who else?
Ma'am!
Yes, Ate Marjorie.
Father and stepmother, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So from this story, what is the setting that being presented?
Ma'am.
Yes, Ate Joylyn.
Forest, their house, and gingerbread house.
Okay, very good, Ate Joylyn. The setting that being presented in this story is
Forest, their house, and gingerbread house.
Okay, so when we read this story, what did you feel?
Happy!
Why did you feel happy?
Ma'am.
Anyone? Yes, Ate Daphne.
Hindi na sila maghihirap at magugutom, ma'am.
Okay, hindi na sila maghihirap kasi may nakuha silang treasures doon sa bahay ng old woman witch. What else?
Ma'am.
Yes, Kuya Jolliver.
Nakawala sila sa old woman at nakatakas ng safe, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Do you have any questions about the story of Hansel and Gretel?
None, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Ayon
do you think is the theme of the story?
Number 2.
What are the moral lessons that you've learned from the story?
Okay, so ang tinatanong dito, yung mga natutunan yung mga moral lesson sa story na ating binasa, which is the Hansel and Gretel. So, I will give you 5 minutes to answer the following questions. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am!
Okay, class, you may now start. Are you done, Ate Marjorie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How about you, Ate Joylyn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, be quiet ha. Hindi pa tapos yung iba.
Yes, ma'am.
What's that, Ate Marjorie? No cheating! Bawal magkopyahan. Mind your own answer. Okay, class. Your 5 minutes is that. Pass your papers forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Ate Krisma. So now, who wants to volunteer to read his or her answer in front?
Ma'am!
Yes, Ate Joylyn.
Number 1. What do you think is the theme of the story? Ang tema natin ay about family. Dapat mahalin mo ang iyong kapatid at ang tatay mo. Tulungan mo sila sa hirap man o ginhawa. Number 2. What are the moral lessons that you've learned from the story? Huwag magtiwala kani-kanino. Maging matalino sa mga bagay-bagay at higit sa lahat, huwag mag-give up.
Okay, very good, Ate Joylyn. Palakpakan naman natin si Ate Joylyn ng 5 bagsak. Number 5. Okay, so let's proceed to the activity 2. I will distribute this activity sheet to you. The words here are the things that we can see or read in the story. All you need to do is to match the words in column A into the picture in column B. So I will give you 3 minutes to answer this story. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may now start. materials that you have in